Today I want to break down for you the key things that you need to do to know where to go into your marketplace to find orders on DoorDash, on Uber Eats, and GrubHub. This is kind of going to be a basic 101 on multi-apping and how you start analyzing your marketplace to find the best spots to get the best orders when you're out here doing food delivery on all three of the platforms. So sit back and I'm going to go over the basics of analyzing your marketplace so that you know where to go when you're out here doing food delivery. My name is John McFall and I want to welcome you to the McFallRI channel where I teach you how to make $25 to $30 an hour doing food delivery. I want to talk to you today about when you go into your marketplace. Let's say it's a brand new marketplace. Let's say I'm starting today in Fort Wayne, Indiana, where I work. How do I go into this marketplace with DoorDash, Uber Eats, and GrubHub and find those what I call sweet spots? And these are areas that you go into that you can get orders on all three of the platforms consistently so that you can get out there and make the money that you want to make. When I first started doing food delivery and I had no idea what I was doing, I got into my marketplace and I found one restaurant. That's right, I went to one specific restaurant every time I went out there. I went to this restaurant because it came at me with orders that I could make $9 for, let's say 3 or 4 miles. But the problem is that sometimes I would sit behind that restaurant for 15 or 20 minutes waiting on an order to hit my phone so that I could get the money that I was looking for. I will say today I don't even go to that restaurant anymore because I don't really work that area and I haven't taken an order from that restaurant in probably a year now. So I want to kind of talk to you about how you analyze your marketplace and the best way to do it so you know where to go so that you can get the orders. The first thing I want to say is you've got to take a look at each of the apps in your marketplace. What I did is after I realized that I wasn't doing the right thing by sitting behind a restaurant, I started driving around my marketplace and I really started with the hot zones that DoorDash had because this is where I saw that there were orders coming in, and I started going to these different hot zones and taking a look at what was going on in them, and I really started to understand where I was getting orders on DoorDash. After I learned how to do this and learned where to go in my marketplace on DoorDash, the next one I did it on was Uber Eats. I opened up Uber Eats and I did the same thing that I did with DoorDash. I drove around my marketplace with the app on and I kind of started to see where the orders were coming in on Uber Eats consistently. About 4.5 months after I was on DoorDash and Uber Eats, GrubHub got me signed on. So when GrubHub hit my phone, I started doing the same thing. I went into my marketplace and drove around and figured out where the good orders were coming in on GrubHub. And guess what? After I did this, I learned that in these specific areas, I could go and get orders on all three of the apps. I told you I work here in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and after a little bit of time in doing this, I actually found 5 different what I call sweet spots. Some people call them power strips, some people call them hot zones. But I found 5 areas that I could go into in my marketplace and get consistent orders on all three of platforms. And what happens is this, is once you do this and you go into that sweet spot, as I call them, when you go there, you're going to start seeing orders hit your phone from all of the apps, and this gives you the option to make the most money because you can pick the best order on whatever platform it comes to you on. There are good orders on DoorDash, there are good orders on Uber Eats, and there are good orders on GrubHub. If you have all of 3 of the apps open and you find out which spots you can go to get orders on all of them, then you can get the best orders hit in your phone that are going to make you the most money. I always talk to you guys about having multiple sweet spots. I've got 5 of them here in Fort Wayne, and the reason that this is because even though it is a sweet spot, even though I can go and get orders on all 3 of the apps at the same time on a consistent basis, there are days where I will go into that sweet spot and there's nothing happening. I have all 3 of my apps on. I drive into that area and there are literally no orders hitting my phone. So when I go into a situation like this and I have no orders coming in on that sweet spot, I will drive to my next one and go to the next one to see what's happening there. If nothing's happening there, I will go to my 3rd one. And over time, you're going to start to understand that there are certain days and certain times that you need to be in those specific sweet spots so that you can get the orders that you're looking for. And if the orders aren't coming in, head to your next one. And typically by time I get to my 2nd or 3rd sweet spots, orders will start coming in on my phone. So it's really important to have multiple sweet spots in your marketplace if it sustains it, so that you can get the orders that you're looking for when you go out here to do food delivery. And having more than one sweet spot gives you opportunities to get orders and to keep your vehicle rolling down the road with food in your vehicle. If a sweet spot isn't producing, you have other options and other places that you can go. So I hope that I really taught you a lot today about analyzing your marketplace. It's really important for you to go out there and just see what the apps do and see what areas in your marketplace produce on all the apps, so you know exactly where you need to go to get orders consistently. This is going to help us, especially right now when we're going into the summer slowdown, because there's times when you're going to be going into your sweet spots and they're not going to be having any orders. So having multiple sweet spots will help you get the orders that you're looking for, even when it's slow out here. I just did a video last week where I talked about how I made $500 in a weekend, and part of the reason that I did this was because I worked my marketplace based on analyzing it and knowing where to go, even though it might have been a little bit slower than it is in the winter time. So I hope you got a lot out of today's video. I want to remind you that down here in my description I have some great tools for you. The one I want to talk to you about is my Metrics Spreadsheet. If you want to know how well you're doing out here on average when you're doing food delivery, so that you can see where you need to improve, it starts by keeping track of your numbers. I'm going to throw it up on the screen real quick so you guys can take a quick look at it. If you look at the left-hand side, you'll see I always put my start time and my end time. This gives me the total time that I've worked. I also put in the miles, and then if you look to the right for each individual app, you'll see I put the dollars that I've made, the time that I worked, along with the number of deliveries. Head to the bottom then, and you'll see it calculates out what your average dollar per hour, dollar per mile, and your average per order. Keeping track of your numbers is really important so that you know how you're doing overall. We have good days and we have bad days out here, so knowing these numbers will let you know how you're doing on average, and it will also show you where you need to improve. So go down into my description and go grab a copy of it for yourself. I would also like to ask you to like this video and to subscribe to my channel. Finally, I want to leave you with, I hope that you are out there getting the money that you and your family deserve. And with that, I want to say thanks.